Hi, Siren here. Quick little announcement before the video starts. So in this series, you will be playing as a character called Aaron. That could be Aaron, Erin, Aryn, the whole works, however you want to spell it, depending on if your character is male, female, both, or neither. And so I just wanted to preface that because if I start calling you names that you're like, whoa, that's not me, the series is going to be a little bit more different. It's similar to like what I'm doing with West Haven Reborn, with Pride. You still get to create the character however you want, and I'll still leave you all the agency, but I get a definitive name to call you by. So when I'm referring to you, I can address you, and it makes it a little bit more intimate. And stick around after the video's done for a little announcement afterwards. With that in mind, enjoy the video.
What is this? I smell fear. It has roused me from my slumber. Why has a new scent entered my lair, my keep, where I steal away from the world to rest? Doesn't it know that invading one's home is a grave offense? What is it? What disturbs my rest? Nothing would be as foolish as to anger a beast of such vast destruction and power. Yet, something still disturbs me. How odd. Let us see. Who are you? Oh, I see. How interesting. A human has wandered their way into the deep, dark place such as this. How tragic. How sad. What is it that this human hopes to achieve? Is it stupidity that has driven them here? Is it fear that has frozen them? Is it pride that makes them so very bold? All seem likely, but equally as untrue. What a curious event to befall my stray evening. Eyes up, human. Gaze upon me. That is an order, little whelp. Good. It seems you can follow simple instructions. Your brain clearly operates as intended. So then tell me, now that you've seen my raw power, my majesty, why have you come here? Do you crave death so much that you'd knock on its very door so early? Speak up. Oh, wait. I see. The bramble wreath of berries and flora placed upon your head and shoulders. And that pure white fleece that adorns your body, tied up into a bow with red sashes meant to represent ornate offering, and submission. You aren't here for wisdom, or courage, or by accident. You, my dearest little treat, are a sacrifice. What? Didn't think I'd be a beast of some intelligence? Enough to realize what you are? As if you'd be so lucky. So, what is this? Here on behalf of your village? Or did you act alone in order to save the region from the new apex predator that has decided to lay claim to this mountain? You think that by offering yourself, or by complying with this notion that my hunger can be satiated, would save you? And what would give you this idea? Humans, as creative as they are thick-skulled, and that's coming from a dragon. My skull is 10 times as thick as yours. So now, what do you intend to do? You found me. So now what? I asked you a question, human. Do speak up. What? What if I told you I don't really have an appetite at the moment? Not in the mood to devour the peasantry. Not my favorite flavor of human either. So, now that you're not being eaten, what is your plan? Didn't think you'd survive this long to figure it out, did you? Did you assume I would eat you without hesitation? Like some savage? Oh, please do tell me you were sent up here against your will, because this is just... this is just... well... sad. Serves you right for assuming things about someone you've never met. That is the mindset of a fool. Oh, dearest, I simply moved to these lands for a new life. I needed more food, a better place to sleep, and I have some ancient ties to this land. Even a dragon can't live in a barren wasteland. You're off the hook this time. You can go back and tell those people that I offer no harm unless harm is offered to me. Respect that boundary, or else I can destroy your little villages of sticks and straws with one breath. Sounds good to you? Very well. Take your life and go. I'd prefer if you didn't force yourself onto my menu. You're still here. Shocker. What is that? Oh, do take that rubbish off before addressing me. Disguising yourself as a Wicker Man doll with all that wreathing on you is hardly appetizing. What is it you said, little human, now that you're unencumbered? My name? Oh, trying to get chummy with your new neighbor. How quaint. If that is the case, you may refer to me as Thraxx, the Shadowed Wing. But if Draconics is too much for your human tongue, you may simply call me Thrax. I am a draconic lord from an era long past. The age of dragons is over. This world belongs to humans now. I'm simply a relic of the power of the before times. Nothing more. Anger me, and I can show you just why they feared me as one of their lordship. Otherwise, I'm just an old reptile looking for a retirement home in a world that's moved past my time. This isn't my era anymore, youngster. And don't make the mistake in thinking I can keep up with all the slang. Kids these days. Yes, a fossil in the making. What about you, human? What do they call you other than dinner, of course? Aaron? Interesting. Believe it or not, I knew someone back in my heyday who bore that same exact name. They were in fact a dragon, like myself. Orange scales, vibrant as a sunset. They flowed from deep to light to shimmering to matte. They were a work of art. And a good friend of mine, too. I very much respected that individual. Come to think of it, now that I have a better look of you under all that ceremonial garbage, you do seem to bear a likeness to them. Even if you aren't a dragon. Their demeanor, their appearance, yes. I get quite the resemblance from you. Though it has been over 100 years since they were laid to rest. In this very land, no less. They adored it. And so, I find it an adequate place to retire. Give my wings a break and take in the land they died protecting from the Drakes. Unaware of your history, little one, aren't you? I do suppose humans have only been on this land for a couple dozens of years. Before your kind sprang up into these lands, dragons ruled this world. There were those who cherished it, the land, and those who sought to rend it asunder. The wyverns were the variants of dragons who grew to love it, while those who wished to see it laid low were evolved into those we knew as drakes. I myself never evolved. I stayed neutral. I was a dragon through and through. Never needed to shift or change or be something that I wasn't. I just wanted to watch what happened and eat snacks as history wrote itself around me. I wasn't one for war, but I also wasn't one for putting my neck where it didn't belong to be sliced. But in the end, my inability to choose a side is what led everyone I knew to engage in this senseless battle and fall or flee. Eventually, both sides fought themselves into mediocrity until only those who didn't fight or fled were the winners. Sadly, my friend Aaron had a sense of duty to the wyverns, and they fought until they were laid to rest. Then, after all was said and done, humans began to populate the empty lands, and thus your race covered the world. Now, I just want to settle and live out what life I have left in peace. There's nothing left for dragons. Does that sound reasonable for you? You know, you do intrigue me, and give me a fine sense of familiarity from a good friend long, long ago. I wouldn't mind if you came by to visit regularly. Well, something akin to that. Let's say it's the price you can pay for me to act as defender of these lands. All you have to do is linger around and keep an old dragon like me company. What do you say? Well then. To new friends, eh? No. That reminds me. I do suppose a different dynamic is in order here. Whew. You might need to stand back. Well, I just told you dragons have the ability to evolve themselves into different beings. Drakes, wyverns. What I failed to tell you is, it's not limited to just that. I've studied your kind, enough to make a tangential version for myself. Aaron, my Aaron, had a knack for that. So I can make a human form for myself, even though my draconic presence will be blatantly obvious. It's been a while, but I wonder just what kind of human I would look like. My friend always enjoyed that form. Why not do it in their honor? Let's see. How about this?
So, this is what it feels like to be human, huh? How do you do it? I feel so small. Well, still bigger than you, that's for sure. What do you think? Do I still give monster vibes to you? Huh. Apparently I am frightening. You're too stunned to speak, and your face is red as blood. What? Oh, yes. I do suppose I'm what you would call naked. Well, I've never worn a shred of cloth in my life. Dragons don't wear clothes. Do you expect I would just have some lying around my mountain cavern? Well then, if it's such a big deal to you humans, why don't you just lend me that dumb fleece and red ribbons, and I'll wear some kind of covering out of that. Sound good? Perfect. You know, maybe retiring as a human won't be the worst thing after all. I've still got over 100 years left in my lifespan, and it'll be like living a whole new life. I call myself old, but in this form I feel 100 years younger. Well, I'm a human with scales and a tail and all the other fixings, but, well, could be fun. Damn. Why didn't they tell me draconic evolution was this great? Well, if I wasn't such a lazy lizard, I would have done this centuries ago. My apathy was such a severe sickness. Maybe it's time to live a new life. One where I'm not so much of a boring drag, eh? See what I did there? And I'll get to do it with someone who reminds me so much of a friend that I should have done it with years ago. Also, are we also going to finally address the fact that you wanted me to eat you a second ago? That was pretty dumb, right? I mean, looking at me now, that would be crazy. But don't tempt me. These teeth are still sharp and they're designed for cutting meat. If you force a salad in my face, I'm going to kill you. You can tell me all about your thought process of that over dinner, though. So, want to take me to eat at one of your human taverns? I hear there's drink there that can make one act a fool. Even though you humans are dumb, you are very resourceful. Yes, like a dragon road trip. I'll be the guardian, and you can show me all the best things about a human life. Like my retirement. Like my last big hurrah, my trip. Yeah? What do you say? Fantastic. Now, will I need real pants, or does the fleece work fine? I'm just gonna go with the fleece. It's quite comfortable. Also, it covers the tail. Ooh, it has a mind of its own. It's also very small. Smaller than I remember. Was my butt always this little? Oh, this is gonna be great. Hi everyone, it's Siren here, and thank you so much for watching the video. I do have a quick little follow-up announcement, if you'll indulge me for a sec. So this series is actually going to be a little bit of an interactive one. I've done these before, but this is going to be a little different, a little bit more intimate, and a little bit more structured. So, what's going to happen is, before I start writing each episode for this little series, I will take to my Patreon, and for members of my All Access tier, they will be able to vote on a poll or comment below if they don't like the decisions about where they think this series should go or what trips to take Thrax on. And so it doesn't take place within like the lore of Arcanon or Grestenfell or all that. I am sort of reinventing myself a little bit, and do not worry, the lore of Grestenfell and Arcanon and Earth and Westhaven, they're all still going to be there. I just have noticed that my content has gotten less quality lately, and I could sit here and blame it on, oh, 2 jobs, or oh, I'm so stressed, or oh, this and that is going on. But really, what it boils down to is I stopped having fun after like 5 years of doing this. And so what I am trying to do is start writing things again that I enjoyed and not because they feel like a chore. And so I really appreciate you watching this video and sharing it with your friends and telling everybody so that the series can get some love, so that I can start doing different things like this and enjoying making content again and not having it feel like a job. So I really thank you and appreciate every single one of you. And if you stuck around this long, I love you very, very much. So to rephrase, patrons will be able to go and vote on this series in particular. And if this series does good and we like that, then I can do more like this. And we can start having the channel be more interactive again, like it used to be when I first started. So I'm very, very excited to see where this goes, and I'm very excited to see what you think. Please leave a comment, share, like, and subscribe, and let's make some more good stories again. Thank you all very, very much.